Hello, lovely, and welcome into this presentation about IELTS Speaking Part 3, Life Hacks. Are you ready? So, in IELTS Speaking Part 3, as you know, the examiner asks you more difficult questions, like more general questions. Speaking Part 1 is about you, Speaking Part 2 is about you, but Speaking Part 3 is about the world in general, about our society, and about other people. So, when the examiner asks you questions, usually they ask you, what do you think? Do you think there are more advantages or disadvantages? So, you can paraphrase, I think. How? For example, you can say, I reckon that there are more advantages of living in a flat. Or you can say, in my view, most people will study online. I'd say that, yes, in the future, most people are likely to study online. Or in my opinion, do you see, we don't repeat I think all the time, because again, the examiner will ask you, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think? And usually people say, I think, well, that's over the top. So I believe that, I guess. Speaking is more informal. So you here, for example, you can use I reckon. I reckon, it means I think. I reckon Moscow is the best city on earth. Yeah. After Dundee, yeah, Rory would say, because Rory is from Dundee. Or you can say here, I'm convinced that Moscow is the best city on earth. Like I truly believe, yeah. I feel that. Again, have a look at these ones. Choose what you would like to use. If you don't like, I'm convinced that, forget about it. But for example, this one, I reckon that that's a nice one. Okay. Ask the examiner to paraphrase. Okay. So, in speaking part 3, the questions tend to be long and they could be quite, big. And you may not understand the question. It's okay, it's fine, it's okay not to understand the question. If you don't understand the question, do you start answering the question? No. No. If you don't understand the question, you ask the examiner to paraphrase it. You can ask the examiner to repeat the question. Like, could you please repeat it? Or could you repeat it, please? Could you repeat your question, please? It's okay, but then the examiner will repeat exactly the same question as it is, yeah? And you may not understand it. Again, if you feel that you didn't understand certain words or like what the question means, you can ask the examiner to paraphrase it, all right? So the examiner in speaking part 3 can rephrase the question. All right. So what do you do? How do you do this? There are certain phrases like this, like questions, that you can ask the examiner to paraphrase the question, to rephrase it. So you can stop the video now and read the phrases. So, for example, you can say, "Could you rephrase?" Oh, sorry. Yeah. Could you paraphrase the question, please? Yeah, you can just practice your intonation. Could you paraphrase the question, please? Or here, rephrase, which means the same as paraphrase. Could you rephrase your question, please? Could you rephrase the question, please? And actually, you can say that, I'm not sure I understand your question. Again, in speaking part 3, the questions could be, quite big. And it's okay to say that, I'm not sure I understand your question. Could you rephrase it, please? It's okay, it's natural, Here also, like, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you meant by that. What you meant. Like, what does it mean, doctor here? What does it mean? Could you rephrase it, please? Yeah? Could you? Yeah, we say like, could you rephrase it, please? The questions could be quite complex. And for example, like certain parts, like if you mean this, I think this. But if you mean this, I think that, So, like, will people study online in the future? The future. If you mean the nearest future, I'm sure that most people will study online. But if you mean, in 50 years, I believe that some people can study offline. Yeah. So it's okay to say kind of, if you mean this, then that. Yeah. Again, choose the phrase, choose the question that you feel comfortable using in the exam, and then you can use it. Yeah. Don't forget to say could you rephrase that, please? Yeah, could you? And use nice and polite intonation. Okay, time bias. Yay, we have a Dali clock all over here. So time bias. If you don't know what to say, you can use special phrases which buy time for you. Okay. If you don't know what to say, I mean, the examiner asks you a question and you have no idea. Like really, something about like they ask you something about the ecology of a country, and you like, instead of just sitting there in silence like this, you can say something. You can react to the question. For example, these are the phrases that buy you time, and these are the phrases with which you can react to the question. Yeah. Could you again stop the video now, read the phrases, okay, first. For example, the examiner asks you a question, you have no idea what to say, but you understand the question, yeah? You just say, well, I've never thought about that before. Well, I've never thought about that before. No, but really, you have never thought about this, yeah? And you just say like, well, I've never thought about that before. Well, I guess that, and then you start answering. See, so when you say this sentence, it buys you some time and kind of some ideas are coming, yeah? Or if the examiner asks you a difficult question, you react to the question. You just say, oh, wow, that's a hard question for me. No, seriously, it's okay, but you should say it naturally, right? It's like, oh, that's a hard question for me, but I think that, no, it's like a robot. No, you should be natural and react to a difficult question. Oh, wow, that's a hard question for me. And then I have no idea what to say, to be honest, because really some questions are difficult. So you can react to this difficult question. Or you can say, like, that's a difficult question for me. I have no idea what to say, to be honest. And then you start answering something, yeah? Again, like these two sentences, they will give you some time, and then the ideas, well, hopefully, they will come to you. Oh, this one, that's a tough one. Tough, it means difficult, yeah? Complicated, hard. You can say that's a hard question, or that's a tough question. But don't forget about an article, the article here. That's a tough one. A tough one. We just say it like a tough one. Or here, that's a hard question. That's a hard question. The article is almost not there, but it's actually there. Yeah, that's a tough one. One, it means question, right? So when the examiner asks you a question, you kind of react. Oh wow, that's a tough one. This isn't the topic I usually talk about. No, really. Like if they ask you about, I don't know, architecture, and you say like, this isn't the topic I usually talk about. But if I have to answer, I guess I'd say that modern architecture is more beautiful, you know. Yeah, so it's normal to say that, again, this isn't your topic, yeah, but if I have to answer here, I'm using like if sentence, yeah, the first conditional. So if I have to answer, I guess I'd say that, to be honest, I'm not into this subject. Again, they ask you about architecture. You have no idea, you are into IT and you have no idea about this. Like, to be honest, I'm not into this subject. I don't have strong feelings about this, like architecture. I don't care about it. I don't have strong feelings about this. Let me see. Well, perhaps modern architecture is quite popular nowadays. Skyscrapers, everywhere. Something. So again, choose your favorite phrase or phrases and you can use them in the exam to react to the question naturally, yeah, and for you to get some more time, some thinking time. All right. Okay, thank you very much. I hope that these life hacks have been really useful and practical, right? You can watch the video again and you can actually take notes, yeah, or like make screenshots or take notes of the phrases that you would like to use in your speaking exam. It's okay if you choose, for example, like 3 phrases, yeah? No need to remember all of them, right? But like choose like your best phrases, the phrases for you. Okay, keep up the good job. You are fabulous and full of awesome.